everyone, it's Ruby from Oofy Scraps, and I am back with another December daily video from my album for 2022. Today I'm going to be doing stories 8 and 9. These were relatively simple, especially story number 9, so I thought I would just put them together in one little video for you guys. I would also like to apologize. I feel like my camera looks a little blurry. I think that the lens needed to be wiped. It was a little smudgy looking, so hopefully that's not too distracting. But today, again, like I said, we'll be doing stories 8 and 9. So right now I'm cutting down story 9 is going to be a full page photo where I put some journaling on top of it, and I am just trying to decide how much I should trim off. I also at this time was considering making this whole page look like a tag, like a giant tag. So I'm trying to get everything all centered and trimmed to the right size. And then I will grab a piece of white paper, I think. Yeah, I have a piece of white paper that I'm gonna trim out to see what it would look like if I cut it into a tag. I didn't end up doing this. I don't know why. I think at first, so the photo for story number 9 is in the archway outside of the front of my house. And so I was thinking I would cut it into an arch sort of a shape to kind of let the photo drive the layout. But I wasn't sure how I would do that without cutting out the part that makes it obvious it's an archway, and it would just look like I just cut the page. So I wanted to keep the archway in, but then I thought that the tag shape would work because the curve of the arch would work. But anyways, I made that tag as a die to see what I thought about it, and I didn't end up doing it. So anyways, now I have my Ali Edwards time stamp. So this was like a week in the life or day in the life thing from a while ago. And I'm going through and I'm going to stamp the time I took each of these photos. So we're jumping back to story number 8. So I have 3 photos from the day. I went and volunteered at a high school nationals cross-country meet. So I coach high school track, and obviously track and cross-country kind of go hand in hand. I do not coach long distance. I coach the hurdles. But I'm really good friends with our distance coaches, and she asked if I wanted to come help, and I thought it'd be fun. It was the best cross-country runners in the high school nation, basically, all together, and they had Olympians come coach the kids and whatever. So I went with them, and it was in December, so I thought it'd be a fun story to tell, and it was an early morning for sure. So I decided to use that timestamp roller stamp and use that to indicate the different times of day. It's just a stamp that I think is really cool, and I always forget to use it. So I thought this would be a worthwhile time. So I have a photo of me driving there, and I have a photo of me and my friend. Her daughter came also to coach with us, or not coach, to volunteer. So I have a photo of her and I under the big sign, and then I also have a photo of her again, rolling everything up at the end of the meet. We helped clean up as well, and she's 11 now. She was 10 at the time, and she didn't complain. She was ready to go. She was having a good time, so it was really fun. But yeah, so what I decided to do was I have this December repeated word paper from the Ali Edwards collection, and I am using it as my background. And then I'm going to take each of those photos and have them be tucked in behind the layout. So I'm doing a cut through thing again. I've done this a bunch of times. It's similar to what I did in story number 4, where I sliced into the photo, but this time I'm slicing into pattern paper, and then I'll have each of those photos pull out. So they were very blue and green and just didn't really go with the rest of my album and whatever product I wanted to use. So I thought that tucking the photos behind the pattern paper, I'd be able to incorporate all the photos. It wouldn't be too busy, and it would also keep with my kind of color scheme I was working with. So you can see I'm doing a diagonal layered situation where they'll all tuck in. So I went ahead and cut those slices just with my X-Acto. I used my ruler and stuff as a guide and just went ahead and cut those. So now I'm just making sure they all fit. I hope you guys can't hear my dogs in the background. They're outside howling. But I just want to get through this video so you guys can see it. So hopefully that's not a distraction. But yeah, you can see when I flip over the page kind of like what it's going to look like. And now I've decided I wanted to add journaling, and I don't really have paper that's good to journal on top of. All of my pattern papers are very busy, so it wouldn't really be easy to see the journaling. So what I decided to do is just freehand some lines on white cardstock, just with a thin black Sharpie, and then I will just add journaling onto there. So I think it's a pretty simple way of doing it, and also it's not like it's not going to stick out because it's going to be tucked in behind. It's not going to be something you're really seeing. So it didn't bother me that it wasn't some like artistically beautiful, colorful situation. It was just kind of simple. And I think that doing the lines really with low effort made them look intentionally simple, which I liked, and like kind of wonky on purpose. So I'm just adding journaling to the back of each of the, well, I guess it's not on the back yet, but on each of these cards, and then I will adhere them back to back to the corresponding photo. Again, trying to get words in and handwriting in and all that stuff. I also went ahead and used more of those Ali Edwards tab stickers that I'm obsessed with, and I picked the black and the gold because that kind of fit. So I used document, grateful, and moments. Like document, grateful, moments. That's something else I've been doing with those tab stickers, is if I'm using multiple on a page, I want them to kind of like almost read in a line. So document, grateful, moments, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, so that's what they look like all adhered together. And then I just kind of cut that rest of that out because it was very redundant. But yeah, so I'm just sticking them in so you can kind of see the idea. And I don't go ahead and adhere these pages back to back yet because I was considering putting like some sort of a die cut, something like maybe like a snowflake sort of a situation, and then sandwiching it between story 8 and 9. I just kind of thought that would be cool and add a little something, but I didn't have that figured out, so I just didn't do that. But now I've got it flipped over on the back, and I'm getting all of these in position, and I'm going to start putting double-sided adhesive around all of the journaling spots so that I can stick this together when it's time without accidentally adhering the part that needs to be like a pocket. So it's a little confusing because these do overlap, so I'm hoping that will work out okay, but yeah, that's where we're at basically. So yeah, and then I went ahead and I turned off the camera because I didn't know what I wanted to do next. It was very plain. I didn't consider how empty it was going to look with all the photos tucked behind. So I went through all my things and I found this wood snowflake, and I thought that worked out well, even though it's not snowing in San Diego. But I wanted to use that. I thought it filled up the page really well without being too busy or jarring. And then I added my number right onto that, and I just used one of those golden black circle numbers again. I don't know where those are from. I've had them for a long time. Oh wait, actually no, I got them last December from Hobby Lobby. They were in a like big Christmas sticker pack. So I'm glad I pulled those out of that book, because I feel like sticker books are hard to use sometimes because you just like forget about them or whatever. But I really like these for December Daily. They work out really well for the numbers specifically. And then I am just sticking that down right in the center, and then I will add adhesive to the back of this. I just use thin score tape, and I will adhere that down. And I think that is a perfect little element. It keeps it really simple, but it does fill up that space. And I considered using some other little embellishments that I had, some little die cut things, but I ultimately decided I didn't like them. It kind of color-wise, I don't know why I was adding like green in. It didn't really make sense. So I decided to keep it simple. That is something that's hard for me. I'm definitely not a very minimalistic scrapbooker for the most part, and these two layouts were both pretty simple, so I definitely had to challenge myself to leave it as it is, let it be, whatever. And you'll see when I do story 9, it takes me like 2 minutes because I pretty much just leave it as a full page photo. But yeah, so I am gonna flip over, but I do come back to story 8 and add a little bit more to it. I'm just using it to line up as a guide to cut my holes or punch my holes on my full page photo for story 9, and then everything's kind of falling around because it's not secured. But there is story 9 again, just a full page photo, and it's all about the rain. So we had a ton of rain this like part of December. So I will go ahead and read you the journaling really quick. It just says, Sunday, December 11th, today it rained and rained and rained. It's funny when it rains here. So many people are upset by it. San Diego isn't built for rain in a lot of ways, but I love the rain. It feels different than the beautiful sunny days I take for granted. I love how cozy it makes me feel, like I can stay home all day and not miss out on anything going on out in the world. But I also love to go out and drive, see the droplets on my car windows, break out my rubber boots. Rain feels like change and time passing and a break from the beautiful but monotonous sunny days we are all so accustomed to. Plus, we're in a never-ending drought, so there's that bonus for you too. So anyways, that was my journaling, and I'm back to story 8, and I am adding some gold snowflake stickers to kind of fill out that page. And for story number 9, all I do is add my number. So I have this green star vellum thing from an Allie Edwards travel kit, and I was debating between the darker green and the lighter green. I think right here I have my boyfriend Steven looking, and I'm like, which one do you think works better? And I think I end up going with the lighter green. And then I was trying to use that giant 9 vellum or plastic 9, but it's just too big. So I grabbed the little gold 9 and I ultimately used that. And I just staple that onto that. And that is literally all I do for this page. So it's super simple. I love the photo of the dogs like peeking out the window. The dogs are kind of like, interested in what's going on. And I also have my plant outside because I was letting it get some rainwater so it could get some real life natural rainwater. But yeah, that's pretty much all I do for this little series of layouts. I love the way it turned out, and I guess you guys will see in the flip through if I decide to add a little like cutout piece to adhere to the right side of the page. But for now, this is what it looks like, and I'm really happy with these simple pages, how quickly they came together, and I will see you guys in the next one.